Where do chickens go when it rains? Sounds like a dumb question, right? It is. So maybe the real question might be, how can we protect our chickens from the rain and the elements that you may be hearing in this video? Because in all honesty, chickens will go wherever you let them. We have some that do not mind the rain, and we have some that are little divas and sure hate to get wet. We have had nothing but rain for weeks on end here in East Texas. And in all honesty, I don't know if you can see it, we've got a drainage problem in our backyard and in our run. And that's Sunny, our little rooster, who thinks he needs to be on camera right now, apparently. But maybe we need to talk about what can we do to protect our chickens from the elements. Now, chickens are direct descendants of jungle fowl. And when my husband told me that, I kind of looked at him like he was crazy. Jungle fowl, though, they're pretty tough. They can handle the elements. Our pets or our animals here, we don't have to protect them, but would you protect your dogs and your cats and your other animals from the weather? Sure you would. So we also like to at least give our chickens some protection if they want it and if they need it. Our chickens don't necessarily need our pretty coops and our pretty runs all the time. Sure, they need them from predators, but in all honesty, they're pretty hardy. Oh, Shonda's not being nice this morning. Gladys gets one too. We do offer the coops and the run for the egg laying and the protection of predators, but it's also nice to protect them from the elements as well. Now, we're in East Texas. It does not get super cold here all the time. And honestly, our rainy season is usually during the warmer months, like right now. So I'm out in the rain in shorts and boots because it's not cold outside. This would be a different video if it were a cold, rainy season for us. We've got some chickens that will look like waterlogged rats by the end of today. They get out in it. I'm looking at 4 of them right now over there foraging in the yard in the pouring rain. But I've got the rest of them in here. They don't want any part of it. Of course, they also know I'm here with some treats. One thing we have noticed with the weather is the ones that tend to go out in the rain are our Easter eggers. They don't seem to mind it one little bit. Our barred rocks, they don't seem to want any part of it. They have wanted to stay in where it's dry. So let's talk about what we offer here at Poultry Paradise for our wet, waterlogged chickens. Now, we have a run that is always covered. We're in Texas, like I said, so obviously they need the coverage for the hot and the sun. The heat around here will get pretty tough this summer. But it also is a very nice covering for the bad weather like today. We also have a coop they have constant access to 24/7. During the day, our automatic door goes up that allows them out of the run to do whatever they want to do. At dark, that door goes down. The chickens just know to come in. But that door right there is always open unless we have a reason to close it. That means they always have protection from the wet weather. We also have a large oak tree. Now, our backyard used to have 5 or 6 pine trees, which I hate. Thankfully, those are gone now, but we do have one remaining oak tree that provides excellent coverage for shade in the summer months, but also on days like today, they get under there a lot. I don't know if you can see, it also has a low deck. That deck has been the best thing for our chickens. They stay under there during the summer months in the heat, but we've also found them staying under there if they're out in the yard when it starts raining and they don't want to be out there and that maybe they can't get back to the run without getting soaked. They just go under the deck. It has been a perfect protection for them in our wet elements. Now, this spring has been exceptionally wet for us here in Texas. It has felt like the rain will not stop, the flooding will not stop. There are roads that I take to work that if I were not a teacher and I were having to drive over, I would have to find an alternate route because those roads are flooded right now. And it seems like as soon as everything wants to get dry, here comes the rain again. Normally, now we have straw in the bottom of our run, and normally it stays super dry. We have had so much rain that even this straw is wet and bogged down and gross. But honestly, it hasn't dried out enough for us to do anything about it. I'm even noticing drainage issues in here. We have drainage issues in our yard that I mentioned. But until the rain stops, we can't fix them. But our girls, they're dry and happy under here, at least for now. Now we know this wet weather's not going to stick around forever. Come July and August here in Texas, we will be begging for this rain and for this wetness and these cooler temperatures. Normally I wouldn't even be able to be out here in a raincoat because it would be too dang hot. But honestly, we've begun to wonder if our chickens are going to grow webbed feet because this rain has no end in sight. Now, if you've seen any of our videos recently, you've seen that we have integrated our two flocks. We call them our bigs and our littles. Last night was the first night that all of them were together in one coop. Now, we have 9 babies, 9 littles, and 10 bigs. But 2 of our bigs are mamas right now. They were broody recently, so we have 3 baby chicks. We did not want to combine the new little flock with the babies, not knowing how all this was going to shake out. So we've moved our mamas and their little chicks into the other side of the run, the part where our littles used to be, where we had them before we could integrate them. But we moved the littles over. You can see most of them back here. And last night was the first night they spent all together. Because of the rain, the other side's not quite as dry as I was hoping it would be, but they did great. Blanche and Dorothy, they're good little mamas. We're not sure how well the littles are going to handle the rain because honestly, we feel like they're still inside because they're not too smart to figure out their exit door yet. They've only used it a few times. I'm out. All gone. Anybody want a rooster?